Hi, good day. My name's Ray. I'm an RN here in the United States. This is my channel, Life and Vibe. And today I'm actually going to be doing a reaction to a fellow YouTube channel. The channel is named iAllegedly. It is a channel, doesn't really have a lot of information about him too much. It's, kind of vague. But he has well over 100,000 subscribers, like 111,000 subscribers. I don't think his channel's been on that long, so he's grown very quickly. It's what I would describe as boomer tube, meaning it's content for older folks who are now starting to discover the joys of YouTube, probably me included. And so I kind of discovered him because I have an interest in, trying to plan for my future and finding information about finance and so forth, and he would have been one of my suggested channels at some point, just because of the type of content that I enjoy looking at. And so I started watching this guy, and I just kind of am surprised that he has grown such a lot. Well, I'm not really surprised, but it's just this sort of, for somebody like me, I'm probably not much younger than he is, to be honest. And so it's a long video, so let me just get started. I'm going to put the settings. I'm going to make sure that his speed is quick because it's long. And I'm just going to make commentary along the way. I'm going to remain professional because I am a working RN. So let me get going, because otherwise this is going to go on forever. Alright, so let's get this reaction going with our friend Dan. And the episode is called Hope is Not a Strategy, Prepare for the Economic Collapse. So let's go.
Yeah, welcome back. This is iAllegedly, and I've got a very good one for you today, because I am in Orange, California, at Eisenhower Park, and I went by the feed store and got duck food and geese food.
Alright, so there's Dan, maskless, in Orange, California, and I do believe that California has a mask mandate in effect from December the 15th, 2021 until February the 15th, 2022. But he looked pretty chuffed with himself, as we would say in England. And there's a whole story behind Dan and the duck food. And I'm going to make it real quick. Dan basically fed ducks bread. Everybody knows that they overeat bread. The bread expands in their stomachs. They're aquatic animals, so they're obviously ingesting fluid and water. And the bread expands in the stomach, and it's not very good for the ducks. And so obviously he has been told this. He's not going to say anything about the bread. He's just going to be extremely snarky for the next couple of minutes about the ducks and the duck food. Okay, so let's go. And I live here on the East Coast in the United States, and I grew up on water, and everybody knows that you don't give waterfowl bread, human bread, like that. Anyway, back to Dan.
Proper stuff. Yeah, Cindy, but we're going to talk a lot about the economy today, and producer price index, and why this affects each and every one of us, and all the main problems with that. Before I get into it, please take a second, please hit the like button, please hit the subscribe button, share this with everybody, and don't forget we got an email list below, we've got a Patreon channel you can sign up for. The CPI.
Dan making some Patreon coin. He's no fool. for, and he's got a good age group and demographic probably to sign up to Patreon. So he's getting to be a little bit of a, a YouTube star on this BoomerTube channel that he got going here. Love me some Dan.
Yeah, the Consumer Price Index was announced yesterday, and it was horrific. Now, today they came out with the Producer Price Index. This is basically the wholesale prices of things people spend, what it costs people to buy things that make things. Let's put it that way. The problem with this is that is up. Since they've kept records in 2010, it's gone up to its highest level ever. And it's gone up 10% in the last year. Now, here's the thing I want you to think about where we're being told complete shenanigans. And that is, we're supposed to believe that inflation, look at this big tag I got. Okay. By the way, guys, real feed from the feed store. We're supposed to believe that inflation is at 7%, but our suppliers and our manufacturers, they're paying 10% more, and by the way, they charge us more money based on, what it costs them to make things. So there's that. And we're supposed to believe that inflation is only at 7%. This channel has said for about a year now that inflation's at 16% when I did my uneducated calculations on what I'm paying for things. Everything that everybody tells me is that they're paying 25% more, 30% more, but dramatically more than they paid for anything a year ago. Okay? That being said. Now, we need a strategy for all this stuff. And what you need to think about right now is the strategy cannot be hope.
Reminding you again, he has 111,000 subscribers, and he didn't explain really what inflation is. And so I'm not a financial channel. I do health stuff because I'm an RN, but I have an interest in the topic of finance, which is how I stumbled on Dan, as we know. Let's get back to Dan.
Cannot be your strategy. I hope that our government fixes this. I hope that my boss gives me more money. I hope it's not going to work. Okay? Hope is not a strategy for your life, for your business, for your career, for absolutely anything that you do. Do not have hope. Do not believe in hope is going to fix anything, because it's not going to do anything for you. So, I hope I lose weight. Okay? I hope I get that job. I hope I get a raise. Okay? I hope our politicians fix this. Speaking of that, okay, here's the thing that I don't get is that I'm sick of the finger pointing with every...
Okay. Maybe Dan and I have a different understanding of the role of a politician. My idea of electing somebody into office is that they will try and improve the circumstances of those who they serve. That's why I choose a politician. We do need to have some type of governance because we do have a large population of people. We do have people who are needing to access services. We do need to try to enact laws, and we need to try to make sure that systems are put in place to have education and roads and so forth. And so we try to get together with the government, and we try to pull our money together in order to provide all of these services that's needed in society. But I don't hope when I go to the polls, the election polls, and I vote for the politician, the understanding is that they are going to go to Washington to do a job, and that's to serve me. So the fact is that I don't get it. I don't get it. Maybe it's just a totally different generation. Alright. I'll be here forever. Let's continue with Dan, because I have to go to sleep for work today.
And this administration has been in it for a year, whether you voted for these people or not, okay? At some point, these people have to own that this is their responsibility, that we have more inflation than we've had in most of our lifetimes, that the job market is a mess, the financing is a mess, everything's a mess, but we're supposed to believe that it's all...
I don't know about the lifetime, because they say it was the highest since 39 years ago. And I think that Dan and myself are both well over the age of 39. So it's not the first time in his lifetime. So, anyway, let's continue.
Oh, great. And again, you can be told one thing, but actually living another. And what I'm talking about is reality. You know, do you think that that business is good right now? Okay, I know a lot of people are having difficulty. They may be selling things right now, but they can't get product. Why is it when you go by a car dealership, you know, things are so good, financing's so good, everything is so good, they have no cars? Well, it's a chip shortage, Jan. You don't understand. It's the fact that the Taiwanese company that makes chips is not making them. We've been talking about that for literally 9 months now. There's never been any chips made. There's no cars made. There's such a demand. It's insane, guys. It's absolutely insane. So again, hope is a strategy for nothing, guys.
I bought a new car last year. Just saying. Off the lot.
Okay, you can hope for things all day long. You can hope for, you know, for health. You can hope for fitness. You can hope that you learn something. You know, over the summer, I went and
I will agree with Dan on that. You can't hope for health. Health is something that you do have to work towards. You were given it probably, you know, most people are born, you know, as children, unless you have something genetic, pretty healthy. But throughout your life, after that point, you have to have behaviors that lead to you being healthy. So it's just how it goes.
Traveled and did, you know, security training. Okay? And to get better at that, I've taken additional lessons and additional training because you just can't do it. It's one of those things that you have to practice at to be better at, to be efficient at something. Go hit a golf ball 300 yards. Go cut, you know, 40 feet like Tiger Woods does and hit it every time. Go do that. You can't. You've got to practice at this stuff. And the only way to be proficient at anything, in business, in health, in fitness, in anything, is to practice. It's that simple. And the problem with this is that people don't get that. People just hope that this is going to get fixed, guys. This is not going to get fixed. We're, you know, I heard a radio talk show host today. I had to turn him off because he was getting me so upset, talking about how inflation's not that bad. I remember when I was a kid, and you know, my dad had to wait in line to get gas in odd and even days, and that was a really bad time. Guys, with our technology and with the advancements that we have over the 1970s, because I lived through that stuff, and my dad was a great salesman who got himself out of that every time, and I can tell.
Oh, you know, Dan was living through the 70s, but I'll give a caveat here, and I apologize that I'm eating. I do have to get ready to take a nap before work. I also lived through the 70s, the entire 70s, and my mum was in the computer industry, and I don't remember, I think my family probably shielded us pretty well. I'm sure sales were not great in the 70s. But you know, the 70s, Lord have mercy. Anyway, so Dan has seen inflation because, you know, the 70s was more than 39 years ago. But let's continue.
Stories all day long about the odd and even days that didn't affect my family, okay? And again, this is much worse than it was back then. And I'm sick of people like Vivek Sankaran, who's Vivek Sankaran? Vivek Sankaran is the CEO of Albertsons. Okay? Vivek sat there and he was talking about the problem with empty shelves right now is that it is all worker-based. It's not a supply chain issue. Who believes that? Okay? And again, I gotta be honest with you. You truck drivers, you dock workers, you store workers, when do you get upset? When do you say, hey, hang on a second, this isn't us, okay? This is on them. We don't have the product to put in the shelves. And they're blaming you lazy workers that don't want to work and work shortages. Now, I saw another article today that was...
Dan was the person who decided to describe the workers as lazy. That when Albertson was saying there was a worker shortage, Dan is saying that people are lazy, that the people who work at retail establishments, people who transport goods to these establishments are lazy. I think Dan is forgetting we are in the midst of a health crisis at this time, because he doesn't obviously wear a mask at any time, and you'll find out that very soon. He is the one who is transferring his belief of these workers. It's a transference thing, and this is what he thinks of folk as to why they're not at these jobs in the store. He's forgetting that people might actually be sick. There's a lot of people who are ill. There has been an increase in hospitalizations all throughout the United States, And my friend who works at a hospital has said that it's the most number of people who have been hospitalized in this time with the particular illness that we're thinking of, due to, you know, I think just it's got, not people are necessarily dying at the same rate, but they're being hospitalized in higher numbers. But, you know, of course not. In Dan's world, everyone's just lazy. Snarky. That's my polite word.
It's fantastic about all the PPP loans that people were given in the last year to go out and hire people, and how they set up fake interviews and set up jobs that never existed. So if that's the case, if large companies have talked about hiring problems and not being able to get workers for jobs that didn't exist, lawsuit festival, baby. So we'll put that one on hold for the future, okay? But share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys. Again, in anything that you want to do, okay? Whether it's fitness, whether it's your business, go connect with other people. Do not just have a hold and hope strategy, okay? With the stock market, I hope my stocks go up. If you don't get educated on your stocks and what you're purchasing, that's on you. 100% on you.
I do agree with Dan in this, that you do need to educate yourself about your stocks and about your finances. That it is on you to find that information and to seek the people who can educate you about that. I would not wait for somebody to come and rescue me on this one. Your employer, your local city, and it may be in the future these services that we provide to people. Because if you have heard the state of California, I'm sure Dan's going to do a video on this one, has had an increase in the number of people who are applying for disability. Now, I think they said it was like 300,000 people. I'll make this quick. But anyway, the reason could be possibly that people are suffering the effects of the illness that has been happening for the last 2 years. And that could be part of the reason why so many people are now applying for disability, because they aren't able to get out and work. A lot of people have other illnesses along with, diabetes, heart disease. I mean, all these different illnesses that would make it maybe people having a very difficult time getting out and being part of the workforce. But, in Dan's world, everyone's just lazy. Let's get back to Dan.
So it's starting to rain out there right now, which is kind of nice. So, and again, this is frustrating and maddening because I have seen a lot of companies raise a tremendous amount of money in my business career. And when I have the medical conferences and startup conferences, I can always tell the companies that were going to do well, not because they had the...
This is always the biggest shocker. Dan used to run medical conferences. So he kind of was on the sidelines of the healthcare industry, not necessarily working as a healthcare professional, but you would think he would hopefully have a deeper understanding of what's going on out in the public, but no, it's Dan, and he's a boomer.
Better technology. I have seen individuals create things that were so amazing, they were so brilliant, but they could not put it, pen to paper and put a deck together and present the product well. They were science nerds. They were brilliant, but they had no business running the company or selling anything. And again, some of those people took that advice and I should get somebody to pitch for me. I should get a marketing staff. I should do that, and they ended up doing well. But you have people that some of them just don't get it and don't think that they need any help. And a lot of people live their life that way. You will not lose weight by hope. You will not meet the woman of your dreams by hoping that she shows up. You will not get the best job by hoping it happens. It will not have to happen. The world is set up for you to go out and work and do anything. But this world is a mess right now. And these prices are a mess. And for politicians to tell us that, this is going to curtail and it's going to get better, and don't worry, the inflation is just going to go away. So how? What plan have you seen where you believe that inflation is going to go away? Okay? Time, magic trick, illusions, the gravitational pull of Venus. I mean, I have people that write me about astrology and things like that, telling me that
I was putting my plant-based, vegan, smoked mac and cheese, charcoal smack. Oh my god, that's the best thing. That's triggering for Dan too. More on that in a minute. But I'm just not surprised that some of his viewers are talking about astrology. I don't want to say anything about anything because it just seems like Mean Girl. But I'm very pragmatic, and this is, you know, if you want to have fun with astrology because you think it's you know, it's a little bit of a laugh or whatever, you know, have at it. I would not stop somebody from that enjoyment. I understand that any of the astrological charts or things that are being used, or any of the birth signs we are given, are well out of whack because the planets have shifted over time. So, oh God, I mean, the world is a little more complicated than, you know, what's in the stars. Anyway, just, oh my gosh, it's got everything. Continue.
Things are going to be better based on this calendar date when the moon hits here, and I'm not even going to pretend that I know anything about this, but okay, we'll see. And again, I'm curious. I mark things on my calendar and see if these women are right, okay? But
Dan always has a little bit of this, you know, old school misogyny, just kind of underlying any of his, you know, comments on gender. Anybody who's younger may note this. And people wonder why I'm single. Let's get back to Dan.
share your thoughts on this stuff, guys, because I think that we are in for a long, long ride, but you are the master of your own destiny. And you can do anything in this world, and the world is, you know, set up for you to go out and be as successful as you want to be, whether it's monetarily, health, fitness, whatever, okay? You can do absolutely anything.
Now, that, within reason, there are people who are born in food deserts, abject poverty, but anyway, anybody can do anything, can't they?
Again, I shop at Albertsons. Vivek Sankaran's an idiot, and he's the CEO of Albertsons, and I went by Walmart last night, and I took some video last night, and I want to show this to you, but I also interviewed some of the employees too. Take a look at this. Now, walking through Walmart, there's a ton of empty shelves.
Now, I'm going to remind people once again, I feel I was tired of doing this. Dan lives in California. He's walking around with a camera, so I guess it's like a halo of protection around him, somewhat. But he has no mask on. He says he worked in medical conferences. So, this mask is mandated in California from December until February the 15th. This was filmed just a couple of days ago in January. So in the middle of this mandate, he is just showing zero consideration to anybody around him. And I'm just going to say this as a healthcare professional. And zero consideration for those of us who work as healthcare professionals who are exhausted and worn out caring for people at this time, and who themselves are becoming sick and infected, even though they have been vaccinated many times. And it is insane. Didn't mention that because that's obviously what's causing it. No, it's because people became a little bit more lax in their behaviors. I hadn't stopped wearing a mask the entire time. You'll see the people around him like in shock because they all have masks on. So just keep watching. I'm gonna try to stop it here. But that was my biggest rant. I'm trying to be nice because this is long.
Absolutely surprising. One thing that I was told through a lot of different grocery suppliers is that there's a shortage of Diet Coke. I don't drink Diet Coke anymore, but by the looks of Walmart, there is no Diet Coke right now, guys. It's kind of interesting, guys, when you think about this. So, just odd. Look at this. I mean, you got cans, but you don't have any bottles of Diet Coke. Just blank spots. Really odd. It's crazy. Complete Empty shelves. No eggs. The yogurt's completely decimated. Here's the thing, crackers, cookies, just complete bare spots, guys. The meat is kind of barren. Got a lot of missing stuff. Right now, look at the chicken. It's just frozen junk. It's really off. So, it's just a smattering of things, guys. It's not that they're out. It's toilet paper and things like that. You got some bare spots. Then you got stuff just missing, No explanation. Oh, we'll get to it, sir. Don't worry. Then you get to barren spots.
Okay, I had to stop it there. If you didn't notice, the guy is like, I don't know if he's staring at him because he's talking to a camera, or that he's noticed he's not had a mask. But that family had a mask on. Most of the people I have seen in this store have had a mask on and are being considerate and thoughtful to others during this time. But not Boomer Dan. He gotta fight for his freedoms. He doesn't care who he takes down with him. He doesn't care if he takes down the whole world.
It's like this again. And I don't know what it is with paper plates. Stuff like that right now. But this kind of stuff is missing. Okay? So share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys. I want to know what you think.
So anyway, that was episode of iAllegedly.